This is a self-guided hunt, and trust me, there's something about this trip that just gives you a lot of confidence for all the other trips you're going to go on in a lifetime. We got a grizzly coming right at us. I looked up, and there's a caribou, a couple hundred yards away, and I picked up the glasses, and it just took my breath away at first.
Winchester Legends is brought to you by Winchester Repeating Arms, the guns that work. She Outdoor Apparel, her adventure starts here. Ram, there are a lot of places to go in this big wide world, and the new Ram Outdoorsman can get you to every one of them. Hunter Specialties, the world's largest supplier of hunting accessories. And by Otis Technology, the most advanced gun care systems in the world.
The front one ain't a bad bow. And we got one out of velvet. And the second one ain't a bad bow either. Looks like he's got more points on top. 8 o'clock the first day. Sitting on top of the mountain watching caribou. Just preparing for the trip is going to keep you psyched up. I mean, you're just going to be talking about it, and you're going to have so much anticipation.
Foulkrod will be hunting in the eastern interior of Alaska, out of the town of Tok. This rolling tundra country provides a natural highway for barren ground caribou to migrate through. And Bob will be using a transporter service rather than a guide to get him into his hunting area.
This is a self-guided hunt. This is something you're not relying on a guide or somebody to take you and knowing where the animals are. This is something that you are doing on your own. And trust me, there's something about this trip that just gives you a lot of confidence for all the other trips that you're going to go on in a lifetime.
Bob will be relying on the bush plane services of long-established 40 Mile Air.
We're big game transporters, we're not guides, so we transport you out to a remote area that supports the type of game that you're looking for, and then we leave you there. You are on your own at that point until we come and get you. So you have to be ready, able, and capable of taking care of yourself.
You know, so back in Pennsylvania, you know, we're packing up food, we're trying different tents, we're packing everything into a 100-quart white cooler. Oh, I'd be lying to you if I tell you I wasn't excited. I've been planning this for months, packing up my gear, getting ready. We're going to Alaska for a do-it-yourself caribou hunt, and I'll tell you what, there's a lot of memories, but there's also a lot of preparation and getting ready. Well, there you have it right there. 7 days worth of food, a lot of preparation, a lot of memories, and when we get done, we got a Coleman cooler to ship our meat back home again. You know, and we're weighing our gear, making sure that it can only weigh 50 pounds. That's all they can put in back of the seat. Now, you can put your binoculars and your range finders, and you can stuff your pockets full of candy bars if you want to or whatever. That doesn't count. But in back of the plane, it's 50 pounds. There she is. And just to remind myself, when you get there, you need 1 gallon of Coleman fuel and 2 lighters. 7 days worth of food. All that preparation at home, and it's ready to do it. It's ready, it's finally here after all that time and effort. Little Bobby's excited. It's just a hustle bustle going on everywhere. There's people loading up planes and weighing packs and getting ready to do the same thing you are. There's my 47-pound pack right back there. Enough food in there, everything I need for the next 7 days. Oh man, I'll tell you, this is enjoyable. This gives me goosebumps. We flew for about an hour and a half, and And we circled a couple times, and all of a sudden it looks down, you know, the river running through it, and we're getting our gear around. You can't hunt the same day you fly, so all you got to do is you know, take care of your equipment. And we had a nice meal that night, and gosh sakes, was off to bed. Oh, what a great day. We're seeing some caribou. They're quite a ways away, but we are seeing a few caribou. It's a fantastic place out here. I wish I could take every one of you folks that are watching this show, have you sitting here right now. This is gorgeous. I've hunted these hundreds of times and taken many, many, many caribou. I just never lose the thrill of seeing that right there. You young people are sitting on the couch playing video games. We wake up and, you know, can't wait to get that oatmeal down, can't run. I mean, you're just running. You got to get out there. And so we decided the first day what I like to do is I like to get to an advantage point. It's a long ways away. I suppose if it was down to the nitty-gritty, I'd drop down over there and walk up over that hill and see if I could ambush them. But you know, the rate that they're moving right now, you probably wouldn't get to them. A lot can happen in 12 hours. Normally what would happen on a good year, and it didn't happen for us, but normally you're going to look over and they're going down between the lake, or they're going between that rock, or they're coming through the alders. There's going to be something where the caribou are constantly moving. In this case, this wasn't happening for us. They were just kind of, there's one, and here's one, and there goes one, but they wasn't going through the same spot twice, except at nighttime right in front of our camp. So the first day, we just went up on top of the hill, and we stayed up there all day long, just scouting and looking and trying to get a feel of everything. Gosh sakes, there's caribou all over. Not all over, but there was, sure had enough to keep your attention. Lots of bear sign though. Lots of bear sign. I had no idea what to do tomorrow, except get up and have another cup of coffee, breakfast, and see what happens. Gosh sakes. I get up to go to the bathroom and there's caribou out here, and everything was, they were just feeding down through. You can feel the wind, boy. They just went right out there and they just, bam, they hit us. They smelled us. Son of a gun. Grizzly coming right at us. It can go either way. She can smell you, and that's exciting. At the same time, it's okay to be a little bit nervous.
Winchester Legends is brought to you by Winchester Ammunition, the American legend. Ram. There are a lot of places to go in this big, wide world, and the new Ram Outdoorsman can get you to every one of them. And by Redhead, finest in the field since 1856. Bob Foulkrod is out on his own on the Alaska tundra, hunting for a trophy bull caribou on this Winchester Legends.
Well, the second day we got up, and the same thing, you know, we had our coffee and our oatmeal, and they seemed to be coming from in front of us down, so we thought, well, there's a bottleneck up in there. But we were really pinned down. You couldn't look up on the hills, you couldn't see them, you had to sit there and just, all of a sudden there they were gonna be. And so we decided to back off a little bit, go on the other side, because sometimes they went up this drainage. And And we were actually going to walk up on top of the hill. And so we got to the drainage, and we started to walk up through, and I turned around and looked, and there was some caribou up on the hill, and I said, well, let's just kind of wait and see what they do. It seems what's happening is these caribou are feeding and bedding up, not moving much during the day at all. It's warm right now. We got caribou up on the hill, bedded down. We got caribou in back of us bedded down. That mountain all the way down there is probably 3 miles down. There's caribou bedded there. When they're doing that, there's no sense of going any place. We got a grizzly coming right at us. Got her cub there too, and that's not good. She smelled our track. That's good. Maybe she'll go up around and stay the heck away from us. Yeah, she's looking for us. It's not good when you get a mother and her second-year cub like that. She's in good shape. She'll get downwind now, and that'll make a big difference whether she is aggressive or not. She smelled our tracks, so that was a good thing. She started looking for us. I think she wants to stay away from us. Shows you how good their nose is. I just hunted them a couple weeks ago. Trust me, they deserve a lot of respect. It can go either way. She can smell you, which she did. She smelled our track where we had walked up there in the morning, kind of looked around and sniffed around, and she didn't like that, so she circled up around the tent and she hit our track where we walked up over the hill the day before, and she took off. But everything was good, so all we did was just chill back and look at the scenery. And to say the scenery, I mean, we watched her until she couldn't run anymore. We had nothing else to do. That's good. That's good. That's real good. It means we don't have to get in a confrontation with her. When does a hunt like this really start? Well, it starts absolutely months and months ahead of time. Just preparing, getting the tents around, the food around, setting the tent up in all kinds of different weather. And then weapon of choice. You know, back in Pennsylvania, we was going to try with a 460 handgun.
This episode of Training Camp is brought to you by Otis Technology, the most advanced gun care systems in the world.
I can shoot this thing good enough that I don't have to put a scope on it. 50, 75 yards, maybe 100 yards max. Like it is, I'm not going to put a scope on, I'm just going to shoot iron sights. I'm going to shoot at 6 o'clock. That means the target's going to set right there, just like that. This is the one we're looking for. Well, it's one thing to shoot from a bench. Right now, I'm going to shoot that target out there just a few times offhand at 60 yards. I guess that's 50 yards. That caribou has no idea what's in store for him.
This episode of Training Camp is brought to you by Otis Technology, the most advanced gun care systems in the world.
I mean, we got a great overview of the whole countryside, where all the caribou had been coming from going in front of the camp. 15, 16 hours we were still there because we were waiting for the caribou to come down through. I looked up, and there's a caribou a couple 100 yards away, and I picked up the glasses, and it just took my breath away at first.
Winchester Legends is brought to you by Winchester Ammunition, the American legend. Winchester repeating arms, the guns that work. Redhead, finest in the field since 1856. She Outdoor Apparel, her adventure starts here. And by Hunter Specialties, the world's largest supplier of hunting accessories. Guiding himself on the Alaska tundra, Bob Foulkrod's waiting for the caribou to show up.
Decided to go back over and grab some supper, and I had put up a flag on a stick so I could tell which way the wind was blowing. And sometimes you could see these little white puffs of seed of some sort going by, and that kind of gives us a direction where the wind was kind of going straight across, you know, from our right to our left going toward the tent. And so I sat down in these hemlocks or these trees that sat there, it was growing up through. And these caribou were coming down through, and I was really going to get a good feel whether this was going to work or not. We got a caribou coming right down by us. I thought they was going to come on the left, but looks like they're going to come on my right. And these caribou were kind of coming down, feeding, and I realized it was a little bull. I wasn't going to shoot him, but I didn't want to scare him at the same time. You got caribou going by you, you let him go by, and he steps right in there, and the wind caught him a little bit, and he just kind of, but it'd been too bad. I would have had him right there. I mean, he would have been my caribou if he was big enough, but he wasn't. You know, we spend a lot of time, and when you're glassing anticipation, boy, it wears you down. Even though I took, you know, a couple different naps during the day, I was getting tired, so I came back over, and it's getting cold. I said, I think I'm going to bed. I went in, I put my pack inside, and I looked up, and there's a caribou, a couple 100 yards away. At first, it was like an awe. There was just stuff hanging all over him. It looked like he had points all over. But actually, the velvet was dropping off of him. And then I started to concentrate on his rack and stuff. And I didn't even pick up my pack. I took my binoculars and I threw my rangefinder on. All of a sudden, we start feeding down toward him. And he's feeding up pretty good.
Winchester PowerMax Bonded takes bullet performance to a new level. The aerodynamic profile of the protected hollow point design promotes long-range accuracy. The lead core and contoured copper alloy jacket are bonded through a unique process that helps the bullet remain intact after impact. So when the PowerMax Bonded arrives on target, the frontal area delivers maximum expansion, nearly 100% retained weight, and devastating knockdown power.
It's getting real dark out, but we're going to try to close again. Turn a little bit. Oh, look at the steam coming out of him. I got him. I got him. He's getting ready to go to bed right there. He's giving his decimo. Right there he is. Let's go get him. It was getting late for pictures. It was getting late for cutaways, so I decided I was just going to take the inwards out of him, and we rolled him over on the side, took all the inwards out of him, and pulled him over in the grass and got him propped up for pictures the next morning. Oh, he certainly didn't shrink any. Oh man, what a fantastic animal. That was when the work starts. Let me tell you something. This is no different than doing this than doing your whitetail back home, doing your turkey. Great memories. Hunting barren ground caribou in Alaska. And I'm telling you what, folks, it doesn't get any better than that. And I'm Bob Foulkrod, and thank you for watching another Winchester Legends. When you're sitting on that airplane, you know, everything's loaded back up, you got your caribou in, the rack is there, and you're flying back in, and you're looking down at all the scenery and the fog and the snow-capped mountains, and you're just basically taking it all in. You're going to sit there and say to yourself, I did this. You're going to pat yourself on the back, and you're going to be proud of it. It's really rewarding when you put in the time and effort, and the end result is you got your animal. That-a-boy, you get an That-a-boy award.
Winchester Ammunition introduces the all-new Winchester.com, featuring hot new graphics, hunting and shooting tips, and improved information on all ammunition products. And if you're into ballistics, check out the most advanced ballistics calculator in the industry, and then download it as an app for your iPhone and carry it with you into the field. Whether you're a hunter, shooter, or both, when it comes to online resources, Winchester is the industry leader. www.winchester.com.